Welcome to Legend Files, the show where I, Derek Cable, will analyze and break down the new contenders to the Apex games. Today I will introduce you to the newcomer who had some existing connections to other legends, the quick-witted modder, Rampart. Rampart's introduction to the game was more of an outcome of some bad luck rather than her own choice. After hanging out with Gibraltar and Bangalore at her shop, Rampart was confronted by a group of thugs, and their leader, the mysterious figure called Big Sister. In the ensuing brawl, Rampart was knocked unconscious, only to wake and see her mod shop and livelihood burning to the ground. This is where when Blisk offered her an Apex card, sending her straight into the Apex games. Onto her official bio, Rampart is a blue-collar private business owner who just needs a big gun and a backpack full of scrap metal to get by the dangerous and wild west world of the Outlands. Before opening a popular modding shop in Gaia, Ramya made a name for herself in the underground gauntlet circuit. She climbed to the top, showcasing a pure skill using her custom modded gear. She began taking jobs from smugglers, syndicate members, and everyone in between. Some say it ain't great unless it got Rampart written on it. She never shied away from letting people know how great she was, or better yet, how bad they were. Maybe that's what led to a group of assailants ambushing her at her shop one night. Her business burned to the ground and she was left with nothing except an Apex card. For Perek, the Apex card is more than just an invitation to compete. It's a sign that she may have lost her shop, but she didn't lose what it built. Like her motto says, she's the kind of person who can always turn crap into gold. Despite being the youngest legend so far, 21 years old, Rampart isn't timid and does not shy away from action, and will even take control of the field if granted the opportunity. When it comes to gunfights, Rampart has two preferences, LMGs and Sheila, a mounted machine gun turret. The latter of which, Sheila, is her ultimate ability. Full name employed minigun, this is a mounted minigun turret that she and allies are able to operate and rain down lead upon their opponents. It even has a 2x scope, however it does require a short and rather sluggish windup before bullets can fly. And speaking of bullets, Sheila can hold up to 150 shots per magazine and fires 20 per second, dealing substantial damage even at medium to long ranges. Rampart is able to place up to 3 turrets at a time, Sheila along with 2 other companions. Sheila makes for a great weapon and even a better ally than some of the other legends. To aid her with the use of Sheila and LMGs, using her modding experience, Rampart is able to load 50% more ammo into her weapon magazine and is able to load them 25% faster. We call this passive modded loader. For her tactical ability, Rampart has amped cover. This is a crouch height wall cover that projects a standing height energy barrier that works as a one-way shield, while the other side amplifies outgoing damage by 20%. It does have a high durability, however, can be destroyed quite easily if attacked while it's being deployed. Rampart is able to store up to 3 in standby and have 5 active at a time. Placed undamaged walls able to be picked up and salvaged and be placed back down later. One interesting detail I have noticed while spectating is that firing through one amped cover into another will cause the second to be destroyed. Why this happens, I don't quite know. It may be a defect in Rampart's engineering, which is doubtful, or it may be a backfire of some sort of safeguard protocol. But like I said, I got no idea. I didn't make it. All aspects of her kit accounted for, and being a defense legend, make her best as an anchor similar to Watson. But, however, unlike Gibraltar and Caustic, who are equipped to place their gear on the go instead of needing to bunker down. If she with her team is able to find the circle early on, and get all 3 miniguns and 5 walls out on that location, they'll be able to bunker and be unbreachable. Outside of this scenario, she's individually powerful, but if in an unset and unprepared team fight, the enemy can push too close and beyond the walls and take a team out. For legend-specific matchups, she tends to work best with other anchors, specifically Gibraltar for his dome, able to be placed and remain while Rampart is laying out her utility. Defensive bombardment can also be used to bottleneck and force the enemies into a building with the fortified Rampart located inside. Caustic can be used with her in a similar way. In this situation, gas traps to use to trap doorways and corners with line of sight to Rampart, or use to trap enemies in a room with Rampart by placing them behind the team as they enter a building, similar to the bottlenecking strategy with Gibraltar's ult. Bangalore's ult can also be used in a similar fashion, while her smoke launchers can be used to shroud Rampart's position to grant her more survivability. Although the rest of her kit doesn't quite pair up with Rampart, instead making each other sort of redundant, Watson's ultimate can be used to aid Rampart's survivability, keeping her shields full. Similarly, Lifeline can use her drone to prevent Rampart from taking too much damage. Some indirect synergies include Revenant and Crypto with Silence and EMP respectively to remove enemy counterplay, as well as Crypto and Bloodhound's surveillance utility. However, that can be rather situational. An extremely situational synergy is with Wraith, who can bait enemies into her rifts that open up face to face with Rampart and Sheila. Any legend that is able to block line of sight or damage, close the distance, or disable Rampart's utility serves as a decent counter to her. Rampart has just as much personality and even more sass than Mirage, as well as being as positive and energetic as Octane and Gibraltar, able to hold her own against and even dominate her opposing legends. All things considered, Rampart has my endorsement, taking into account the reason she's in the games in the first place, in addition to the dedication, skill, and personality she brings into the arena. Was Rampart's introduction into the game as much of a shock and spectacle for you as it was for I? Feel free to let us know, and as always, I hope you enjoy. Please come back for the next edition of Legend Files, and I will see you all later. This is Derek Cable, signing out.